Hello people, what's up? My name is Marukage and welcome back to Hard West. Here we are picking on where we left off in the last episode, and I just want to know how will I gather 25,000 peso for a tournament. But anyway, let's go to the hospital first of all. Let's heal Harding's injury. There we go. Then let's go to the Adelante. I have no idea what Adelante is, but still. The bustling town of Adelante was full of new buildings and prosperous people. The copious construction work in town was sponsored almost single-handedly by Mr. La Fortuna. For the denizens of the Western Territory, La Fortuna was the embodiment of prosperity and modernity. Okay. Though she felt awkward about making such a seemingly low request. Sure. Luck changed, minus 25, okay. When Cassandra told Harding they should find the bordello, his eyes lit with an unsavory glow. She admonished him sternly, insisting this was strictly a business outing. Her head was already starting to ache. It was only a matter of time before it dulled with pain for hours or even days. They arrived at the brothel in time to witness a violent quarrel, an older, flamboyant-dressed woman beating an Indian prostitute with a billy club. Cassandra guessed the older woman was the bordello's madame. Harding stared at the scene, frozen for a moment, agog. Okay. An instant later, Harding rushed to the madame, landing a full four punch in the middle of her face with a crunch. Damn, dude, nice. As she sprawled on the floor, dazed and screaming, Harding rushed to the native woman, helping her up. She hugged him as she cried, covering him with kisses in a way that suggested they had more than a passing familiarity with one another. Okay. Harding motioned to Cassandra to get out of sight. She ducked into the nearest back street. Harding and his native acquaintances joined Cassandra as soon as they could. She wasted no time. Look, game, you should stop with the words that I don't know and don't know how to pronounce correctly, okay? So, she wasted no time reprimanding Harding for attracting the attention of the entire town and doubtless the authorities. Harding explained that he had no choice. It was his duty to defend Felicia. Apparently, they had known each other for some time. Cassandra guessed Harding was one of her regulars. Okay. Felicia apologized for the trouble, but said that without her job, she had nowhere to go. Harding suggested she could join Cassandra's posse, and she was a good shot and good company. Of course, wink wink, get it? Wink wink. Even to Cassandra, wink wink. Anyway, Cassandra's crew accepting this woman into the team would attract unwanted attention, but it decided the anime Cassandra was worried with Felicia thanked Cassandra profusely and promised to be a valuable asset to the team. The team returned to the town of Adelante. Let's go to the cantina. Cassandra was pleasantly surprised to find that the cantina appears safe and well run. Sure. Cassandra's brushes with the law had been minor, it seemed. Okay. She found only a small note about one of the events she had been involved in. Sure. Let's go to the general store. Browse the wares. Six-shooter only, huh? Well, revolver and the navy gun could be okay over here. Uh, I think that we can do it like this. Hmm. Close. Yeah, I think that we're gonna do it like this. We have enough cash. That's just okay. Trade. Okay, now let me see what Cassandra knows. No, not the Cassandra. The. Yeah, she cute. Anyway, you need a gun, girl. Navy gun. Yeah, that's okay. She has 2 pistols now. And you have a revolver instead of a musket. Sure. Mandrake root. She doesn't have any cards. Hmm. I don't know what to give to her. Maybe just to give her HP. No. Maybe to do it like this? I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see in the future. So, let's take a room for the night. Cassandra and her companions enjoyed a good night's sleep in a tidy room. Maybe now? No. Okay then. Upon leaving Atlantic, Cassandra had an unnerving but all too familiar feeling, a powerful premonition that made her head ache for days on end. Her skull blazed with pain as the vision took shape. Cassandra saw a stagecoach loaded with explosive luggage against the gorgeous mountain backdrop. Suddenly, a vulture's cry split the air. She looked up and saw several haggard birds circling overhead. As her premonition faded, she looked around for landmarks. She was positive she could pinpoint the location of the vulture's feast. Okay. Let's go. Following Cassandra's directions, the party soon arrived at the location of stagecoach crash. The putrid smell of decay indicated the accident took place several days ago. By the way, just something off topic. People say that after 3 days, the stench of a human corpse is the worst. Literally after 3 days. The putrid smell, yeah. A flock of vultures feasted on the well-heeled passengers. One of the birds looked up from its feast, fixing the company with a rheumy glare before slowly flapping skyward. Okay. Harding began rummaging through the pockets of the dead, whistling casually, as though he were picking daisies. Cassandra, finding nothing of interest, was beginning to regret coming, when she spied a thin leather suitcase sitting in the dust. Opening the case, she discovered a document written in dark blue ink on thick paper. Adorned with official stamps and seals, it appeared to be the deed to a silver mine somewhere in the Rockies. Cassandra pocketed it while her companions rummaged through the rest of the spoils. They left. That's cool. Pilgrimage. Okay. Let's just go to check what is happening at the gambling's den. Harding led Cassandra to the notorious outlaw gambling den. The venue was set up in a cliffside cave. In an ancient Indian pueblo, there were no lights on the outside, but Harding pointed out 2 guards concealed against the crumbled walls, next to a narrow entrance with a thick black curtain. Inside, they found a wide repertoire of gambling tables. an assortment of colorful, dangerous-looking characters, and an ample supply of liquor. Hmm, sure. The prospector claimed to own a map to the wreck of an old Spanish treasure ship. Harding dismissed it as bragging, but Cassandra was interested. Her initial attempts were inconclusive. Cassandra felt she was already losing her lucky streak. Cassandra saw the man suffer violent death. It thoroughly distressed her, but she obtained no useful information. As the searing pain pierced her brain, she saw the prospectors laying dead in an old shipwreck, surrounded with piles of gold. As the vision faded, she managed to recognize a landmark that pinpointed three possible locations for the wreck. She came back to reality and nearly collapsed from exhaustion. Let's go. I know where we were gonna find the gold. Anyway, let's go. I hope that I'm correct. The ancient wreck of a Spanish galleon sat in a small cove and looked harmless enough. The name on the bow read Amaya Calvo. The air smelled of dry seaweed and mold. Huh. Descending into the cargo hold, the team found crates filled with valuable and expensive materials. Much of the treasure had decayed with time. However, a good portion of the silver and gold objects could be salvaged with a significant amount of work. Cassandra decided they needed money. As the salvage continued, Harding became wary. He told Cassandra that the longer they stayed there, the better chance someone would arrive, perhaps to lay in wait and attack them once they had retrieved all of the treasure. He suggested retreating with what they had now, rather than hope they could get away with everything. Sure, Cassandra and her companions abandoned the 10,000 golds, 10,000 fists in the air is really good Disturbed song, abandoned the scene, leaving the rest of the loot for others to plunder. What they recovered was only worth a couple thousand pesos, but it was a couple thousand pesos closer to their gold. Oh well, lonesome shipwreck. On its side in the shallows, the shipwreck looked like a beached whale. When Cassandra's team headed inside, they found it filled with dead bodies of its crew and passengers. The air was heavy with the stench of the dead. Cassandra knew the dangers decomposing bodies presented. Let's come back another time. On the sharp rocks of the bay sat the decomposing wreck of a caravel, almost entirely disintegrated. They could barely make out the name on the side of the ship, Louis LXXX7. I don't know, 19th? No, not 90th? I don't know. Cassandra doubted it would yield much. Non-black, okay. As she descended into the wreck, Harding stepped on a sea urchin and had to be helped, limping onto the shore. A closer inspection of the wreck yielded an ivory comb and some golden teeth, worth 100 pesos or so. Harding suggested whatever, there might be more valuables at the bottom of the bay, but that obtaining them would mean contending with more dangerous sea fauna. Cassandra's companion disappeared beneath. 1,000 only? The sparkling water. After a number. Okay, dives. The swimmer submerged for close to a minute before erupting to the surface holding a small, ornate chest. Inside, Cassandra found a collection of ivory pieces. They would be worth at least 1,000 pesos to a collector. I must admit, we don't have much. And me not like that. At all, actually. But yeah. So, one of these guys does have a limp leg. There we go. Anyway, again, this guy has a limp leg, which is okay. Oh, numb leg. Let's go. We can definitely heal him. Why do you have the Remy Borgen rifle, dude? Okay. We can go to the hospital. Yeah. We can go back there. I guess that's about it. The cargo holds were filled with dark, scintillating rocks. Felicia became agitated, saying it was pitch blend. Okay, the nausea-inducing, vitality-draining, the natives called curse rock. She ran out, shouting for the others to do the same. Harding shouted after Felicia that she was a superstitious coward. She shouted back that Harding was an overbold fool. Yeah, let's go, just go back. That's about it. I don't want more, you know, issues and things like that. So, okay, we don't have a lot. We actually do not have a lot. Let's go to the army fort then. The team arrived at the Mexican army stronghold in the Western Territory. The terrain was challenging and progress had been slow. They were grateful for the respite. Harding offered to buddy up to the grunts. He said he'd see what they knew and maybe win some of their money. 1 second. There we go. Consider. Commander Alexander J. greeted Cassandra gallantly and offered refreshment. He excused his humble surroundings, explaining that order was maintained in this region by the private militias of wealthy industrialists such as Ricardo La Fortuna. Consequently, the Mexican military had only a minor presence in this area. To blockade. The commander was familiar with Perez. He said Perez had stopped in briefly to resupply and had made vague mention of a failed arrest attempt. He was still in pursuit of the person, oh god, sorry about this, who had eluded him, but had declined to give a description. So far, the commander had no more news from him. The commander told Cassandra that Mr. La Fortuna was a benefactor of the United Mexican States. Okay. The government trusted him and gave him many liberties. He explained that the blockade Cassandra had referred to was only a training exercise for his merchants fleet, put on in response to the rise of piracy in the Caribbean. Let's go. He got up from his desk and looked through the window. Cassandra joined him. Harding was quarreling with a soldier. The commander excused himself, leaving Cassandra in the room alone. Cassandra found a small key, nice, and used it to unlock the commander's drawers. Along with a collection of letters, a standard issue gun, and some ammunition, she found one truly interesting item, an army requisition form. Uh, it would almost certainly prove useful in the future. No one would miss it here. Cassandra could hear the commander's steps in the corridor. She hastily closed everything and leaped back into her seat. The commander walked in, visibly upset. He explained Harding had got into trouble playing dice, but that he would overlook it as his soldiers shouldn't have engaged in gambling in the first place. Still, he said Cassandra and her crew should leave immediately and not return. Let's go. Harding bruised contendants told the tale of his gambling adventure with the soldier. As they left, he told her he had won some money. Nice. But more importantly, he'd acquired a pair of loaded dice. In Cassandra's skilled hands, any dice game would now be less of a gamble. And the event. Okay, I do see that we are on 21 minutes over here, so I'm just gonna give it one more thingy over here. Let's go to the pilgrimage for some reason, I don't know why. If we do have a battle, we do have a battle, and that's about it. Cassandra and her companions came across a group of people camping out in the wild. They had numerous tents set up. Oh my lord, the guy is constantly opening CSGO. You cannot see it, but I can. You know, the little pop-up in the lower right corner? It's annoying. People camping out in the wild. They had numerous tents set up along with carts and horses. There were wooden crosses and ornate incense holders everywhere they looked. A man wearing priest attire greeted them on behalf of his flock and said his name was K. Elspas. Okay. He explained that he was leading these people on pilgrimage, but that they were currently enjoying a much needed rest. Elspas Winston admitted in low voice that Cassandra was right. They weren't resting at all, actually they were lost. His map had turned out to be inaccurate. He couldn't bring himself to dash the hopes of so many pilgrims by telling them they had to go back. Thus far, he had been able to convince everyone that they were still on the Callous Shrine Trail. While he secretly tried to figure out where it was, now he was losing hope of ever finding it. Okay. K. Elspaso explained that the Callous Shrine was a pre-Columbian ritual site that site said to contain carved figurines of human skulls adorned with Christian symbols, crosses, three-corner symbols, and fish. According to Elspas, the existence of these symbols confirmed that Christianity was the world's sole true religion. Okay. Unfortunately, however, the map he'd bought from a merchant in Adelante had proven false. Now he would need to admit his failure and destroy the faith and resolve of his flock. Cassandra finished for him. Elspas nodded fervently. He promised to share his supplies with Cassandra if she found a map. Okay. He had heard that the Garcia Pimentel family library might contain clues to the shrine's location. Cassandra promised to take a look in the... Okay, so I'm gonna end the episode over here. It's been 25 minutes and I do assume that it's enough, because if we do have a battle with Garcia Pimentel family, it's gonna take about 15 more minutes or something like that. But anyway, I'm actually excited for this. It's a good scenario. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a rating, either like or dislike, and help me so much. Leave a comment down in the section below. Subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.